And on this Monday, June 16th, 2025 edition of Newsmakers, the man accused of assassinating the top Democrat in the Minnesota House held deeply religious and politically conservative views, telling a congregation in Africa 2 years ago that the U.S. was in a bad place where most churches didn't oppose abortion. Vance Luther Bolter was captured yesterday following a massive multi-state manhunt after authorities say he impersonated a police officer and gunned down two legislators and their spouses. Friends and former colleagues interviewed by the Associated Press describe Bolter as a kind man of Christian faith who went to Trump campaign rallies and attended an evangelical church. He worked as a security contractor, a funeral services driver, and a preacher. Authorities say the 57-year-old Bolter had a target list including dozens of names, mostly Democratic lawmakers and prominent abortion rights supporters. Iran has renewed missile attacks on Israel. Charles de Ledesma reports.
Iran has launched a new wave of missile attacks on Israel, triggering air raid sirens across the country as emergency services report at least 5 people have been killed and dozens more wounded in the 4th day of open warfare between the regional foes. Tehran had announced it had launched some 100 missiles and vowed further retaliation for Israel's surprise attack on its nuclear program and military leadership, which has killed at least 220 people in the country since it began on Friday. The nation announced the latest salvo after a weekend of escalating tit-for-tat attacks. Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard vowed that further rounds of strikes would be more forceful and severe. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Televangelist Jimmy Swaggart is reportedly in intensive care after suffering a heart attack at his home over the weekend. His son Donnie says the world-famous 90-year-old preacher went into cardiac arrest around 8 o'clock yesterday morning. Swaggart is the founder of Jimmy Swaggart Ministries and the Jimmy Swaggart Bible College. He's the senior pastor of the Family Worship Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which held a special prayer service last night. A new AP NORC poll finds that just over a month after Pope Leo XIV became the first U.S.-born pontiff, American Catholics are feeling excited about their new religious leader. About 2/3 of American Catholics have a very or somewhat favorable view of Pope Leo, according to the new survey, while about 3 in 10 don't have enough to have an opinion. Very few Catholics, less than 1 in 10, view him unfavorably. Among Americans overall, plenty of people are still making up their minds about Pope Leo, but among those who do have an opinion, feelings about the Pope are overwhelmingly positive. And that's Newsmakers for this Monday, June 16th, 2025 edition. I'm Keith Black.